All right, so right now we're outside of Representative Ilhan Omar's office. We're trying to give her a Quality Learning Center hoodie. Let's see if she's here. Hello. Is Representative Omar here?
No, the congresswoman's not currently in the office. Is there a message you want us to pass along to her?
Yes, I wanted to give Congresswoman Ilhan Omar a hoodie.
Okay, I can
Quality Learning
pass.
Center.
Okay, I
Is she
can
here by
pass that
chance?
along.
Can you please give Ilhan Omar a Quality Learning Center hoodie?
All right.
Thank you. Hope she likes it. Hopefully she leers a little because fraud's bad. All right. Well, they took the hoodie. Ilhan Omar now has her own Quality Learning Center hoodie. And if you want one, you can go to shirleydefense.com or go to the link in my bio. I hope she likes it.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Nick Shirley, stay winning, brother. Nick Shirley is doing some awesome stuff. He's exposing corruption all throughout the government. Again, this just goes to show you, man, anybody with a cell phone and a decent social media following can be a journalist. You know, it's like, again, Nick Shirley didn't do the footwork for any of this Minnesota stuff. That one old guy reached out to him, and just by chance, Nick just looked at his man going, hey, I'm a guy who's been investigating this for a long time. You know, you should come here, and I'll walk you around and show you what I've been investigating. And that's what he did. Mm-hmm. So, again, Nick Shirley had the following, and he just happened to see the right thing at the right time. Expose a lot of this. So keep doing this. I mean, keep bringing awareness. I mean, right now it's kind of, people might be like, oh, he's just shamelessly plugging his own stuff and his own merch. Irrelevant. He's still shedding a light on the awful stuff going on. He deserves every amount and every amount of money that he's getting.
Yep. And the big thing that we have for today's show is Nick Shirley got interviewed by, Andrew Callaghan or something like that.
Whatever.
And
this loser-looking dude on the left.
And he's just a very odd guy. He says he's a journalist, but really he's
like
basically
he's a journalist the way Jon Stewart is a journalist.
Yeah, all he does is he goes around and interviews people and makes them look silly. So he came out as a comedy-style news journalist like Jon Stewart and all his crew. Mm-hmm. And he's funny. Like, I'll pull up a video. Actually, I forgot to pull that up, but I'll pull up the video where he's interviewing, like, furries and stuff like that, like a little short compilation so you can see some of his work. But all he does is interview people and make them look stupid. He doesn't take it seriously. Yeah. He's just like, but he thinks he's a serious journalist. Just like, dude, you can't be the Jerry Springer of journalists and expect to be taken seriously. And so he interviews Nick Shirley to try to make him look stupid when, Nick Shirley's been friendly with him because, they're both YouTubers. They're in the YouTube sphere.
Again, yeah, you never know whenever another YouTuber invites you on whether or not they're going to use you. I mean, at the end of the day, you're both making content, but are you the content or are you the butt of the joke of their content? You never know because, people are snakes at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's out for themselves. And this Andrew guy, he's coming back from like some type of like sexual assault allegations. So he's coming he after a couple years of kind of laying low, he's finally coming back and being like, I'm going to take down Nick. Because I guess Nick doesn't have the right politics now.
Yeah, but real quick, we'll start because another reason why Nick Shirley's blowing up right now, he just testified before Congress, which we'll play his opening statement here before Congress real quick. So I'll just do this, and then we'll get into the big debacle between him and Andrew Callaghan.
Makes you think that?
Well, now you're seeing, since I've posted that video, lots of other people have started to go to other locations. For instance, in Ohio or in Maine or in California. They're also seeing the similar fraud take place in other daycares, for instance, in a lot of other locations.
Yeah, I have a particular interest in California, being from that state, and we know that there's been a lot of fraud. There was $32.6 billion that's been confirmed in unemployment insurance fraud. There's 1.2 million fraudulent community college applications. Have you gotten any sense, or have you seen any signs there that sort of are similar to what aroused your suspicions in Minnesota?
Yeah, and fraud in California might be worse than the fraud in Minnesota.
What makes you say that?
Well, $24 billion went missing for homelessness. They've been trying to build this train for years, yet there's hardly anything to prove for that. Fires.
Yeah, those are good points. So you look at let's run through a couple of those. Because I mentioned the areas where we have confirmed fraud, but then you also have these areas where you have so much spending, and then we look at what results from that spending, and there's nothing. So $24 billion in homelessness, and yet the homeless population went up, and a state audit found that they couldn't even figure out where the money went or what the outcomes linked to that spending were. Is that something that is kind of a red flag for you?
Yeah, it's a major red flag, and you don't even have to be smart to be able to know that that's a red flag.
Well, unfortunately, our state legislators haven't managed to figure that out, or at least the governor hasn't. So what are you saying about him?
They're not smart. No, but yeah, I mean, it's so obvious, and that's what we saw in Minnesota is how complicit the government has been in enabling this fraud to happen. Quality Learning Center had over 90 violations, yet they continue to give that daycare $1.9 million. Correct.
What makes you think that?
Well, now you're seeing, since I've posted that video, lots of other people have started to go to other locations, for instance, in Ohio, or in Maine, or in California. They're also seeing similar fraud take place.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was working, so this is why you got to be paying attention too.
Anyway, so Nick Shirley's blowing up because he went on to other things. So I guess Chad's trying to pull up stuff on this other guy, this other journalist, Andrew, whatever. And this is like his most famous video, is like him going out.
Well, no, at first I was going to play the big debacle real quick. So here is Nick Shirley talking about the interview that happened, and he has the clips here. So we'll check this out, and then we'll kind of see a breakdown between both of them real quick, because Andrew had a response to this, and then we're going to kind of compare and contrast their careers.
Super important, and I also learned a great lesson here. So the other week, I sat down with Andrew Callaghan in Channel 5 to do a sit-down podcast-style interview for his channel. And when he goes and posts the video, I see he just posted an hour-long interview. I said, well, that's weird, because we actually spoke for around 2.5 hours. And then I go and watch the interview, I'm saying, well, what is this? This is not what happened. For instance, this clip right here.
What American city is prospering right now? Austin. Austin? Name another one.
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas is prospering?
Yeah. Nashville's doing good. Phoenix is doing good. Basically, any place with low state tax is getting a lot of...
In any place that's not Democrat?
I don't know about that. I mean...
Name a Democrat city that's prospering right now.
Well, it would have to be one that's affordable.
Name one.
Denver.
Why are you smirking? It's not prospering.
All right, so that's the clip Andrew posted, but this is the actual interaction of how it went.
Denver.
Why are you smirking?
Because I don't know if it's prospering.
It's not. See, you can't even answer the question. It's not prospering. Denver's not prospering either.
I agree that Democrat-run states are doing badly.
Kind of weird that Andrew didn't put that in, right? Maybe his base or something would not be happy with that response because he obviously got caught lying. And anyways, let's move over to the next topic when we're talking about Somalians being known for pirating, as 89% of the fraud that has been charged inside of Minnesota is by Somalians. This is the interaction that Andrew posted.
Somali community, or do you see it as both?
89% of the fraud is being committed by Somalians.
Where exactly is that statistic from?
You can pull it up on the screen. You'll find it.
I just want to know where it's from.
You want me to find it right now?
For sure, just so I can, I don't know, I believe you. I just want to make sure we have the exact...
Here, right?
I just want to point this out, that he's a journalist, that Andrew Callaghan is a journalist, and he can't look up any of this stuff for himself. He's just like, Nick Shirley come out here to do a friendly interview. He's like, oh, you want me to pull up all the stats when I just came on here to do a friendly interview, which he's literally been traveling from one location to another doing interviews. So he probably has not slept that much, and he's just literally exhausted from traveling. He's like, well, you should tell me. Just like, dude, you're a journalist. Look this stuff up yourself. That's kind of your job.
Again, but this is what, he takes his cues from people like Jon Stewart. Again, this is what was that other, who's that famous Katie Couric? I mean, how many journalists have gotten away with this type of stuff? Thank God that Nick Shirley had somebody filming the entire thing. I mean, if you're a conservative, you have to film the entire interview if you're going to be interviewed with somebody. Again, this is why Democrats refuse to do live shows.
Yes.
Because they cannot be clipped. They don't want to be clipped. They don't want to say the things they actually mean. They want to do stuff like this. Again, this is what Jon Stewart did for years. If you wonder why conservatives, why people stopped identifying as conservatives and the liberal media and all that stuff, it's because Jon Stewart and his ilk edited people to look dumber in their interviews. I mean, it's like the same way they would do the same things to Bush. They would do the same things to other people. Like, whenever Democrats do it, it's fine. That's journalism. Whenever Republicans, like when Andrew Breitbart got caught doing it, he didn't clip it out of context. He just talked about he clipped it. This is what she really meant by this. This phrase right here. And they go, no, you clipped that out of context. Mm-hmm. It only matters when it's done by someone else on the right. They'll interview that, they'll dissect it, and they'll be like, oh, see, liar.
Yeah. And
like, but it's like, but it's like the AOC mentality. It's like going, it doesn't matter if you're factually correct as long as you're morally right. And that's what the Democrat base is.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. That's why he feels justified in doing this.
Yes.
This Andrew Callaghan guy.
Yes. So let's keep watching this because he has. I mean, this shows you that he's right. He shows them that he's right, and he's just like all he has is edited out. Where'd you get that stat from? Let me look it up real quick. It's like it makes him look stupid, like he doesn't know. It's like, dude, I don't have this information on hand right now. It's so stupid.
Right here. Yeah, and it's not racist to say it. Probably. And when I go.
This is what happens when I show him the fact that 89% of the people who have been charged for fraud in Minnesota are Somalians. This is what Andrew had to say. But remember, he conveniently left this out of the interview.
89% of those charged in connection with major.
Identified as Somalian Americans.
Well, looks like we've got to redo there.
I'm interested to see what you put in this interview because
Looks like there's a problem with fraud.
He even called it out right there. I'm interested to see if you even put this in your interview. Guess what Andrew Callaghan didn't do? He didn't put this little portion in the interview. What a POS, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's just two examples from the interview with Andrew Callaghan where he literally went out of his way to try and make me look bad, which is not cool. And I wouldn't say that's like very benevolent of him to do by any means. But I promise you guys, if I ever do an interview with anyone, you're going to get the full product because I think that's just like the most benevolent thing to do. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed and you guys were able to see through what I just showed you. The full interview is up on my second channel. All right, this is super important.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be like if we were doing our Grand Old Time podcast and interviewed a captain and then like edited it down to make him look like he was a moron or something. It's like going, that would be the equivalent of what he did here.
Correct. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they don't want to do live. Any type of Democratic person never wants to do a live interview. It's because they don't want to get caught looking stupid on camera. They always want to do an off-air, edited interview. He goes, make it to where I don't look stupid, okay? Like, well, that's going to be really hard, Democrat. But we'll get to this portion. So this is what the kind of content that old Callaghan made. This is from one of his old channels called All Gas No Brakes, where they just toured across America doing stuff like this. Is what he's known for. This is how he got famous. This is the Jerry Springer type bullcrap interviews that he's got his fame from, and he's like, I'm a serious journalist. I'm a journalism.
Yep.
This is him. This is him.
Here live at the Midwest Fur Fest in Rosemont, Illinois, figuring out what the fur is going on. You say West Side?
First off, fuck you, bitch, and the click you claim.
You dig? Fur gang, bitch.
Yes, this is our serious journalist.
Free Take K, free Palestine. You ain't this shit, Take K. What's a few lies and you got bars? I got a hat on right now because my hair looks
this is how he does it. He just lets people talk, and it's funny. He just lets people talk and hang themselves, or just make them look stupid. And he makes funny faces. That's his shtick. He is not a serious journalist.
Mm-hmm.
This is all he does. He is the Jon Stewart of journalism, which is make fun of people, make people look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all this is. Like, I mean, literally, that's all this is. Like, let someone talk, and then you make a funny face while you're watching him and go, obviously they're crazy. That is the implication here. This guy is not to be taken seriously. All he is doing this stuff for money.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll pull up the whole Nick Shirley debacle right here. So we just watched all of this, and then he came back with a response video about this. So we're gonna watch. Yeah, we're gonna watch. A little short response from Andrew, whatever
Callaghan.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's see if this. And this is from another guy's channel that I just found. So we're just gonna play this through real quick.
right now.
Austin.
Austin, name another one.
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas is prospering.
Yeah. Normally and historically, my policy for whenever somebody is saying some factually inaccurate stuff about me online is to turn the other cheek, keep my head down, and get back to grinding. But in this case...
How benevolent of you. What a good person you are.
Why didn't you release the full video, man?
Mm-hmm. It's like, this is not... He came with receipts. You are the one that is lying here.
With Mr. Nick Shirley, who is now falsely accusing me of conducting an unfairly edited interview. I think I'm going to pick option 2 and let people know what went down. Journalistic integrity is something that I kind of take a little bit seriously, and I can see a future wherein access is limited to prominent people.
Just real quick, a guy takes journalistic integrity very seriously. Full guide to the sexual misconduct allegations against YouTuber Andrew Callaghan. So, yeah, he surely, if he doesn't take... sexual allegations seriously, and he admitted to this thing that he went to he said he was going to go to therapy for it. Mm-hmm. So obviously he takes journalism super seriously if he takes, sexual allegation stuff very seriously, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially conservatives, if I don't dispel this false narrative immediately in its entirety right the heck now. So to do this right, I'll have to show you a couple of things, including text messages between him and I, and actual footage of the working premiere sequence that I used to edit the interview, so you can see what was cut and why.
Which means he edited it down for time, which guess what? You know what that means? He cut stuff out. Ironically, he seems to have cut out the stuff that makes Nick Shirley look good and makes the stuff like him look bad. Who would have guessed?
And I guess what is he going to argue? It's like, I just cut out the boring stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean the truth? What a turd, man.
Yeah. So this guy is straight up admit that he's not to be taken seriously. He is a POS journalist. Don't take this dude seriously. This dude should be canceled off the internet.
Begin with an editing lesson. So when we're dealing with a long-form interview of somebody who talks very slowly and circles back to repetitive talking points, one of the first things that we do in post-production is cutting what's called dead air, which means long pauses between words or sentences or fixable verbal stammers to slow down the conversation and risk boring the viewer. So in this raw interview with Nick, which had a total runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Do what Joe Rogan does and post the full thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference. Joe Rogan and other people who do podcasts that are nonstop, non-interrupted, doesn't matter if they stutter, stammer, or whatever, go all the way through. That's what people want to see. This is the type of stuff that people are sick of seeing because you can lie and manipulate this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the Epstein footage. Just like, wait, why is there a little blip right here that changed?
Oh, it's just dead space. Oh, you mean
it's just dead space?
You mean the dead space where he got murdered?
Yeah, the space where he happens to have been
killed?
Murdered?
Yeah.
We had to cut nearly half an hour of dead air to make it listenable. Many people like to choose their words carefully, so I get it. But
yeah, why was that dead air? Why was you looking at his phone going, oh, I guess you're right. Why was that dead air?
Or is it because it made you look unprofessional?
Yes, this is 100%. This is the liberal tactic. You wonder why liberals get away with practically murder? It's because of stuff like this. Media outlet people run cover for Democratic operatives.
There is a reason he did the cutaway where he did. There is a reason he did the name dropping the cities the way he did. Because if he had done it, you would have noticed the jump cut. You would have noticed that he wouldn't have cut to camera 1, 2, or 3. It'd have been like a skip.
Now this is what we do. Like this seems like a cut right now. Me switching between me and Corey. This is a switcher. We are still live. All 3 cameras that we have in the studio running right now are live, and we're still recording, so you can catch everything. If Corey starts talking, go ahead and start talking, Corey, while I'm on camera.
Yeah, I'm still talking right now.
And I can leave it at this camera the entire time.
While I'm talking. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but what he's doing is he's editing it from 3 different cameras that are not live, and they're trimming things down so that way they can make it look like it's edited like this.
Mm-hmm.
That is what they're doing. They're trying to make it look, oh, this was live. It's like, no, it was not.
Yeah.
Like, we used to do stuff like this before we had the capability to live stream to YouTube and to Facebook.
Yeah.
So this is insane that that this is what they do to try to get away with looking like, oh, look, we did a live interview together. It's like, no, it is not. It is not. This is deceptively edited and manipulated.
So for those of you who watch the show, we are live streaming to Facebook right now. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's not live.
Yeah,
you're watching the re-recorded upload from our us streaming live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're live on Facebook. If I mess up, If I say the F word or something like that, Facebook's going to hear it. Everybody on Facebook Live is going to hear it. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just done professionally. It's done like a real, we run the show like it's an actual in-studio TV show, but it's just done live to Facebook. So, sorry, we're getting off topic. We just want to try and help you understand how he's not live. They're cutting, they're editing it.
And
it's like Katie.
How they are manipulating you into thinking that this was the full interview, nonstop, no cuts, all the way through. Whereas this is not like how we're doing it or how like the Timcast does it or Joe Rogan does it. That is completely live. There's just multiple cameras. He is pretending to be live and then editing people out of context so that way he looks like he's the good in post-production, which we can do that too. Yeah. But, I mean, that doesn't make it an honest interview. And it's because he probably sucks at debating live and stuff like that. There's people who suck at debating live will refuse to go to in-studio things. Tim Pool talks about this all the time, is trying to get left-wing people to come on his podcast. And it's the same thing everyone. Everyone will tell you, a right-winger loves to come and debate a left-winger
White wingers will
anywhere.
come to like Tim Pool says this. Right wingers will come for free. They will pay for their own plane ticket. They will drive their own cars to get here. The left will be like, no, we're not going to do it. Or they'll say, how much are you going to pay me to come?
Yeah. My fee is $10,000 minimum. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyway, let's continue.
There was a couple points in the interview that even in person we had to have Nick repeat himself because the crew felt that no amount of corrective editing would possibly be able to make him sound normal.
It's been interesting.
That is his fault again. You made him. You have to ask the question. You go, could you repeat that or say that in a way that I can understand it? That's stupid. So your crew is telling you things. I mean, it tells you that his crew runs his program for him. Like, nobody runs. It's me and Corey in here all by ourselves running this. This guy's like, you need to have him repeat that because we didn't understand it. That's his fault as the anchor or not doing something right.
What they're saying is they're going to try to have him saying it in a different way so they can maybe try to clip it out of context.
Exactly.
Sorry, can you rephrase that? What do you mean by rephrase that? It's like, I'm speaking the way I speak. And again, it's not like Nick Shirley's like a great intellectual. He's speaking in layman terms. Yeah.
Which, again, it's going to show you, this guy is a total piece of crap, this Andrew Callaghan.
Yeah.
2 days, past 72 hours, my video on the expose of the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever, longer than 10 minutes, other than Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Can you say the fraud in Minnesota again? Because you kind of stuttered.
Yeah. Oh, wait, are there going to be cuts in this, or just going to be one take?
Which will make it perfect. So if we ask for to say it again, it's just to make sure you say it perfectly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So see, he even asked, is there going to be cuts in this? He's like, this is not a full interview all the way through. This was intentional. They were going to cut this. And two, again, what does he need to say that exactly right for? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, what? And two, what he's talking about right there, and like, this is something that only people who watch YouTube videos make YouTube videos know, is like, most people don't hang around a YouTube video for more than about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. He's like, more than 10 minutes. Like, most people's attention spans will move to another video after 10 minutes.
Right.
So if you can hold someone's attention for more than 10 minutes, you've got them.
Yeah.
And that's the point. It's like, if you can hold someone watching your video more than 10 minutes, YouTube's like, okay, we're cranking this up, because most people watch it, first 5 minutes go by, bored, going to another video, bye. Because attention span, like I call it the TikTok or the Vine, like, kind of.
Yeah. Is there anything more to this, or have we seen all that
I think
has
there's
to
just
offer?
a little bit more, but then we're just about wrapped up. Sorry. I know, this guy infuriates me because he is lying.
Well,
he proved that he's a liar.
He represents that old school, early 90s, mid 2000s, like, dogmatic journalism. It pisses me off. Again, it's that he's doing the stuff that Katie Couric and Jon Stewart got away with for years, and people were like, wow, the people Jon Stewart are interviewing that are Republicans and conservatives are actually retarded. It's like, no, they edited them out of context.
Yeah. This is why this is why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden refused to go on Joe Rogan. Absolutely refused, because Joe Rogan would have ragdolled them in person. You know what I mean? I mean, Trump went on there. J.D. Vance went on there. Why couldn't Kamala Harris? He was like, please come on. Please come on my show. We'll talk. saying they're like, nope, they had to have certain talking points and they had things that they weren't allowed to talk about. And Joe Rogan's like, Donald Trump didn't come with demands like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to show you that the Democratic Party is the lying, manipulative party.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't edit it and make their candidate look good, they want no part of it.
Yep.
So my video on the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, expose style, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast.
So bear with me here. I'm going to show you.
In January 2020.
Yeah, that's it. And I knew that was just about wrapped up on it. But yeah, that is Andrew Callaghan, like him saying, oh, well, that was his big clapback. Yeah, so his big clapback is, yeah, I edited and manipulated the footage so that way Nick Shirley looked dumb. That's essentially what he's saying. Boom. He's a liar. This kid should not be on YouTube. I'm glad that he got, like, a bunch of his channels and, stuff got taken down. It's so stupid.
Again, he thought this was going to be his big comeback, taking down Nick Shirley, and look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a proven liar now.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, people on the left will probably defend this guy and be like, no, this is somebody we need in the fight.
Yeah.
Somebody who's willing to lie, cheat, and steal to win.
Yeah.
This is who we want in the fight, Democrats. It's like, again, we could not get away with that if we tried, people on the right.
And he says here that this guy's an anarchist, journalist, said, born in 1995, American journalist, YouTube personality, and creator and host of YouTube series called Channel 5 and All Gas, No Brakes, which All Gas, No Brakes is the one where you saw where he was doing that furry thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew Callaghan was born in Philadelphia in 1997, blah, blah, blah. He grew up in the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle. He is Irish-Italian descent, blah, 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 blah. Who gives all this crap? Said he hated school and all things. The only thing that interested him was journalism. So therefore, he interviewed people associated with the dark net and Silk Road. I mean, he even interviews. It shows he's interviewed. I'm blanking his name. How am I forgetting his name?
Andy, no?
No. Alex Jones. Alex
Oh,
Jones.
yeah.
I was literally blank. I couldn't believe how I could forget he interviewed Alex Jones. But yeah, just like that's all he does. Is like he goes around and just interviews people. And you saw how he does his stuff. He's like, he interviews people, just lets them talk, and then he just makes funny faces or just watches them in the background. And, oh, wow, you're such a great journalist, sir. The best journalist we've seen in years. It's like, no. What made him popular was him going around interviewing those crazy furry people, and while he just let them talk and say their piece. That's what made him popular. It's like, oh, he's actually letting these people express their opinions without, censoring them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made him popular. And now look what he's doing. He's become the monster that he hates. You know what I mean? But that's the other thing, too, is like, who are the people that go up to the journalist people? It's not usually the sane, rational people. It's the crazies. It's the crazies that come up that want to be famous or want to get their viral moment on the internet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. And he just lets these people talk. And he goes, yeah, imagine that the craziest of the crazies do the interview. He interviews the craziest of the craziest, and it makes the whole movement that he's talking to look insane.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have guessed?
Yep.
Who would have guessed? But yeah, this is absolutely insane. I can't believe that this guy's got this far. And again, here he is, a full guide to the sexual misconduct allegations against YouTuber Andrew Callaghan. Andrew Callaghan, Democratic chameleon, blah 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 blah. But this past month, 25 found himself in a story after thousands of social media users saw a pattern of misconduct in first- and second-hand accounts of women's experiences that were shared across platforms and public comments and videos. Callaghan addressed the allegations in an Instagram post on Sunday, apologizing to the women and pledging to examine his behavior in therapy. But many of those followers of Callaghan's work, the incidents raised questions about the Gen Z's tolerance for sexual questionable behavior. Blah, blah, blah. He is a self-styled journalist of the digital age who is irreverent to YouTube and earned him fame across several platforms. His brand, Channel 5 News, has over 600,000 followers on Instagram and a 2.25 million on YouTube. Callaghan got his start while a student at Loyola University in New Orleans, where he launched a YouTube series called Quarter Confessions. Wearing a pale suit and carrying a corded microphone, Callaghan interviewed intoxicated Bourbon Street partygoers, editing their wildest statements with quick cuts, intentionally outdated effects. So he's literally like cab confessions or whatever.
He's a shock jock.
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to get a clip of a viral moment to take off. I mean, that's all he was doing. I mean, If that's the level of journalism that he wants to do, I mean, it shows in his later work with Nick Shirley. It's not about the truth. It's about shock value. It's about making other people look dumb. That's all this guy's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to make people look dumb and make myself look smart or goofy or relatable in some way.
Remember, this is from NPR. This is from liberal, trusted news media NPR talking about this right now. 2019, he took a style of filmmaking across country in a beat-up RV, stopping for interviews at sites like Flat Earthers conferences and the Talladega Speedway. The all gas and no brakes fell apart in 2021 after a contract dispute with the production company Doing Things Media. Callaghan then started a Patreon funding Channel 5 series that has amassed over 6 million YouTube views since April 2021. His following has only broadened since December 30th, releasing his first HBO documentary, This Place Rules, which examines the cultural divisions underlying the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The interviews with the legacy journalist and his unfiltered reporting, Callaghan defended his popularity amongst younger millennials and elder Gen Zers in a bit of media mockery in service of media literacy. Blah, 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 blah. Here's where the allegations started. The claims against Callaghan go viral on January 5th when a TikTok user going by the name of Caroline was that how you say it, Corey? Easley? I don't know. Posted a 2-minute video saying Callaghan pressured her into performing sexual acts on him. She said that Callaghan, whom had been messaging on Instagram, asked to stay over at her house because he had a falling out with a crew member. I was
Convenient.
Yeah, exactly. The social media post made complete prosecution of the sexual assault. I was very clear about the fact that we are not hooking up, she said, and he gets in my bed, wears me down to the point where I'm eventually agreed to do things that I wasn't proud of. On January 7th, she posted again, sharing screenshots of the messages exchanged with Callaghan in 2021. The photo of them together, she also shared screenshots of at least 10 messages from people saying that they had similar experiences with Callaghan and knew of someone who had. Caroline has since deleted the video from her TikTok, saying that the response had diminished her mental health, but the other users have saved and continued to share the video across other platforms. One version of it posted to Twitter has been viewed over 750,000 times. A version shared on Twitch livestream has over 830,000 views. Caroline said that she didn't want to talk directly to NPR for mental health reasons, and she instead put us in touch with a longtime friend whose name we have agreed to withhold for fear of online harassment. A friend of Callaghan's who knew Caroline felt about the incident months before she ever posted TikTok. Friend shared screenshots from Instagram posts in August 2021, which the friend warned another woman in her city that Callaghan knowingly assaulted my friend and got away with it. The friend said, which, again, ladies, if they actually sexually assault you, call the police.
Yeah, go to the police.
But, I mean, when you invite... What do you think is going to... This is partially the girl's fault, too. It's like, when you invite a man that you don't know over to your house, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, what do you think the expectation is for that guy? It's like, oh, I'm going over to a girl's house. This is happening.
Yeah, I mean, he did it but that he is such a beta for that too. He's like,
he did it
I had a falling out with my crew member.
He did it
at
in
the
a
house
weasel way.
Mhm.
He did it in a very weasel way. And again, he gaslights these girls until they eventually just succumb because they're in it. They're in this. He's in her house.
Mm-hmm.
So again, girls, be smarter than that. Don't be naive.
Yeah, especially in your own bed. Give him a pillow and a blanket and throw him on the sofa.
Yeah.
I mean, good God. And if he comes into your room unannounced or without that, then call the police. Say, I am calling the police right now.
Yep.
Like, this is what you should have done, but guess what? You let the dude sleep in your bed, so you are partially culpable in this.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a piece of... I mean, he really is. He is a beta.
And again, he's a professional gaslighter. You can see what he just did right now, like trying to cover his... I'm a professional journalist. Okay, then why'd you gaslight Nick Shirley?
Mm-hmm.
Again, he gave you the benefit of the doubt, did the interview, and then you ripped him. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go to the second response right here. Caroline's video prompted another woman TikTok user going by the name Dana to come forward. The series of videos, Dana and Callaghan assaulted her on a drive home from dinner. First, he kissed her neck, then put his hand down her pants and putting her hands on his crotch. As she was telling him to stop, Callaghan left the car and she asked him multiple times, Dana said. Dana later posted a video sharing screenshots of her messages with Callaghan in January 2019. She hasn't responded to multiple requests from NPR. In addressing the response to her video, Dana dismissed the ideas that she was seeking clout, money, or trying to sabotage Callaghan's success. I am not going to let someone else go through this alone, she said in her TikTok post, referring to Caroline's video. I am just saying the truth that I know right now. I don't care what you believe. I want other women that he's affected to feel comfortable about talking. Now, again, this is the other problem that I have with this is like, yeah, you should come out and talk to people about this. But again, he's so popular, it's possible that they've been getting, threats online or whatever. But again, you have to come out. Ladies, if you do get assaulted like this, you have to come out, file a police report, do something about it. Stop just being like, oh, I'm just going to pretend like it never happened. That's the worst thing you can do.
Mm-hmm. Make a paper trail.
Yeah.
A paper trail. I'd be like, hey, this guy has a history.
Do you
he
know
has
how,
18 other filings on this guy. He's clearly a problem.
Exactly. Do you know how you stop him from doing stuff like that? File a police report. Because if you don't do anything, he's going to continue with his bad behavior. If he keeps getting away with his bad behavior, he's going to continue doing it. But anyway, how did Callaghan respond? This video posted to Instagram, Callaghan thanked the people who had spoken out in different ways in which my misbehavior has made them feel uncomfortable or pressured during sexual situations, and I apologize to them, as well as his collaborators. He did not single out any particular accusations or confirm or deny any specific circulations. Yeah. And as you can see, the video here has been removed. He, however, said that he and many thought many of the accusations were missing important context. I want to make a few things clear. I've always taken no for an answer, he said. As far as consent, I have never overstepped that line. Up until this point, I did not realize that I had a pattern that had affected multiple people, he said. Later adding that he thought going home from the bar alone made you a loser and that persistence was a form of flattery. Callaghan, yeah, but once you've crossed the line, there's a line crossed between persistence and assault.
Yep.
And he clearly doesn't know that line. So, but I mean, look at him. Look how goofy and ugly this kid is.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Till this point, blah, 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 persistence. Callaghan largely laid low online and in public since the tumultuous live interview with NPR station WBUR on January 4th. He explained that in the video, he waited nearly 2 weeks to respond because he was in a state of shock that spiraled into a mental health crisis. So he's not a sane person either. So we're trusting a guy that's had a mental health breakdown as a good source of news journalism.
Yeah, you're talking like he's an anarchist too. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
chaos
is
is part of his lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Then Callaghan also believed, in which anarchists believe that there is no law, that no law applies, which means that sexual assault laws mean nothing either. So that tells you everything you need to know about this guy.
Yep.
Callaghan also believes that alcohol may have been a contribution to his decision-making and said that he's planning to join a 12-step program. Dana posted YouTube and TikTok videos Wednesday evening saying that she didn't believe that the apology was genuine, that she did not forgive him, but also that she was finished talking about it. Mm-hmm. About claims of blackmail. Okay, well, we're just going to all day. And said, yeah, so claims of blackmail. So, of course, if he has multiple people coming out, yeah, people are going to try to blackmail him for this. That's I'm just pretty much wrapped up. But we've got the gist of what's going on. But you can tell this guy is not a good dude.
Yeah.
Not a good dude. So he is not to be trusted. This guy is not to be trusted.
Yep. Again, he's just a snake in the grass, man.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got. Okay, yeah, I thought this was completely relevant to today. Nick Shirley, on January 14th, 2026, exposes nearly $1 billion in fraud in Minnesota. January 21st, 2026, Virginia files to ban government from investigating its own state. Guess what? Guess where Washington, D.C. just happens to be located.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they banned that. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? That's funny. But again, this is a Democratic pattern right here. This is what the Democratic Party stands for. They want to keep funding this BS. So, 4 Democratic states are suing Trump to keep Somalians to robbing Americas. 19 Democrat states are suing Trump to give sex change operations to children. 22 Democratic states are suing Trump to hide voter data. 21 Democratic states are suing Trump to give SNAP benefits to illegals. Why is it always the Democrats that are suing to give people breaking the law your tax dollars? Why is that always the case? Or hiding information from us, like with the voting stuff?
Because we care about the hungry kids. No, to me, it just sounds like you're using them as political pawns to further your political ends.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Okay. Well, we just watched this one, and we just didn't exit out of it yet. There we go. Okay. And everyone, we'll talk about this one real quick. This is the last long one that we have before we'll start wrapping it up with just memes. But this, again, has this happened in 2016 where CNN interviewed a bunch of people who voted for Obama but flipped for Trump in 2016 during the 2016 election. Same thing here. Here they are interviewing a lady, a suburban mom that was like, I voted Democrat my whole life. I was a Biden supporter. And then after Biden and the Trump second election came up, the Trump Kamala election came up, she goes, I was all in for Trump because Biden ruined everything. Where was CNN, MSNBC, all these other news organizations doing this journalism to figure out why people are wanting to vote for Trump now after the election? Why is it never before? Why are people
because they can't show
Trump?
people, they can't show that the suburban moms flipped. They wanted suburban moms in their camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they just don't want to believe. Again, it's them covering their eyes, blocking their ears, and just going, la, 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 bad things aren't happening, bad things aren't happening. Check this out.
Was that saying Trump was right about everything, and that's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
This breakfast conversation, our sixth visit with Betsy Sarcone, dating back to August 2023. Her shift beyond dramatic. A DeSantis, then a Haley voter, said she would vote for Joe Biden if Trump won the Republican nomination. But she changed her mind.
I think Biden probably changed me more than Trump. I think watching nothing be done, for 4 years about an open border.
Now she gives Trump an A-, loves the immigration crackdown, just closed a big real estate sale, and thinks the economy is picking up. Sarcone laughed at Trump's 2020 election fraud claims when we first met. Another big change.
I'm starting to question the election of 2020, right?
He lost the election in 2020.
I don't know.
He lost the election in 2020.
The suburbs revolted against Trump in his first midterm. And
just for the record, I'll pause right there just for 1 second. 81 million voters. There were 81 million voters in the 2020 election. There were only 60 million in the election previous and in the election after. So I do have some very big questions about that. Where did those 20 million other voters go? Where did they disappear to? Why didn't they vote this time?
It's almost like those systems in the safest and most secure election and people voting from home had a big impact and a big bump for Biden.
Yeah. It seems to me that either Biden truly was the most popular candidate of all time, which they made a huge mistake pulling Biden out and putting Kamala Harris in because she lost them 20 million votes, or two, those 20 million votes were fraudulent. I mean, that's the only two conclusions that you can come to. Biden was just that popular, or there was some form of malpractice going on.
There was, some silliness going on, something afoot.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats are banking on it again, but Republicans don't have to worry about Sarcone.
There's that saying Trump was right about everything, and that's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Boom.
This breakfast.
Perfect. Again, Democrats said they had suburban moms. The suburban moms didn't like Trump. They didn't like his tactfulness. They didn't like the way that he spoke. They thought he was too brash. And if you show millions of women that right there, because the media knows 80% of marketing is targeted at women. Guys, advertisements don't target men. They target women. 80% of marketing is done to women.
Is it the
because
only...
women are easily swayed. Their opinions are easily swayed. You can pull on their heartstrings and they will absolutely change their mind. That's why most women vote Democrat.
Yeah. Do you know the only two marketing things that appeal to men, really? You know what they figured out they are?
Boobs.
Yeah, it's sex appeal and food.
Yep.
Those are the only two things that will sway men's decision.
Yeah, so if you show a hot girl in lingerie, I mean, this is why Bud Light made the biggest mistake in the world to go away from the attractive chicks wearing bikinis,
And
drinking
do
beer.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah. Guys like hot women, and guys like food that looks yummy. If you can show us those two things, like, dude, I'm in.
Imagine that. It's like if women, those are the only two things you need to keep a man happy. Look good and feed your man. Keep him happy for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Again, it's not hard. Like, literally, how do parties happen? Tell guys, there'll be food, there'll be babes, there'll be beer. You got a party. Guys will be there.
Yep.
If you got those things, that's a party.
Said girls doing a party is the opposite. Like, what guys are going to be there?
How is the table going to be organized? What's that going to look like over there? It's like, nope, guys, it's simple. Food, booze, babes.
Pool is optional.
Mm-hmm. Clothing's optional.
Yeah, but here's the next one, which we talked to this, and one of our college friends, hardcore liberal, doesn't believe it. He thinks that the child was detained by ICE. Check this out.
Yeah, he literally laughed at it when I sent him the proof that it was not, they weren't kidnapping a kid, and he just goes, "Ha, that's fake." You know, it's like, we can't have conversations with people that we went to college with and have and you know that you think we're smart.
Yeah, just a college education is not proof of smarts.
But again, it just shows you the whatever algorithm they're trapped in, whatever media bubbles they're lodged in, they're not getting the truth.
Yep. Which brings me to this one. We'll just go ahead and read it from Ilhan Omar. ICE just detained a 5-year-old child. Don't tell us about this. This is the worst of the worst. That's a lie. Absolutely vile. The truth. ICE did not target a child. The child was abandoned. On January 20th, ICE conducted a targeted operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Cojolio Arias, a illegal alien from Ecuador, who was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration. As agents approached the driver, Adrian fled on foot, abandoning his child for the safety of the child. One of the ICE officers remained with the child while the other officers apprehended whatever his name is, Arias.
Yeah, tell me all cultures are equal now. Tell me, if you were a father, if I was getting deported and I had my kid in the car with me, do you think I'm going to be like, later, Timmy, bolt? Like, that's my child. I have an obligation and a responsibility to my child. This guy, this illegal alien, clearly doesn't feel that way about his own kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'll catch you later, kid. I'm going to do me.
Later, son. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll be back with the milk later.
Mm-hmm. So here's J.D. Vance's statement on it after a liberal world journalist tries to call the Trump administration out for this terrible, reprehensible act.
Mm-hmm.
A local school district here is alleging ICE agents detaining a 5-year-old after preschool on Tuesday. We've also seen multiple American citizens detained by ICE or harassed by ICE in the last 6 weeks. Are you proud of how your administration is conducting this immigration crackdown here in Minnesota right now?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact that we're enforcing the country's laws. But, you asked a question about this 5-year-old kid. I actually saw this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic messaging event. And I see this story, and I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy. And I think to myself, oh, my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I do a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien, and then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran.
Vice President Vance, a local school district.
Yeah.
So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal...
Go on, son. Get out of here.
Hey, this is a police scene. Go away. Get out of here, kid. What are you doing here? Get out of here.
This is the scene of a crime. Get out of here, son.
What are you doing? This is an active crime scene. Somebody get this kid out of here. Hey,
this is what we're talking about. Liberals ask you to believe impossible things every day. Just like, yes, these ICE officers who are probably fathers themselves are like, Sorry, kid, you're on your own now. Looks like your dad left you. Here's your little knapsack and a stick. Get going.
Yeah, hit the road.
Yeah, that is not how.
Hey, yeah, you just look at him. Hey, you got a place to stay, kid? Again, it's so stupid.
Alien in the United States of America, if the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity.
Oh yeah,
from
I forgot. I wish I had pulled up that Tom Homan speech. If I arrest a father for drunk driving, I'm going to separate the father from the child. That was the most epic thing that he ever told AOC and the Democrats. And that's why Tom Homan is the man. And then I don't know if you've seen this, but have you seen the video of Tom Homan, who has been a Border Patrol guy for so long, was getting an award from Barack Obama for his good work? Yeah. Good Lord. So what happened? Like I said, the Democrats have completely changed. Like, Obama gave this man a medal, and now Democrats are saying now this man is literally Hitler.
Yep.
ever being the subject of law enforcement, that doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense. Now, you know, there are so many of these cases like that where if you just understand the context. So the story...
Okay, that restarted, but that is why J.D. Vance will definitely be the front runner, I think, in the next election.
Because he's good at standing up to these reporters. He's good at standing up to scrutiny.
And he knows the full story. If he doesn't know the full story, he's going to get it. He's going to look it up and he's going to get it. I mean, imagine if he had came in there unprepared.
Yep.
He was ready for that question. He knew that question was coming.
He knew it was coming. Yep.
Mhm.
And again, it's just like our friend that I sent that message to today. It's like, hey, how many people believe that ICE detained a 5-year-old right now? How many people are only getting that and they're not getting the debunked thing now? Remember, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth has time to put its shoes on. Mm-hmm. Again, and this is what they want. The left is going to put out information, and they're going to say, look at what happened. This is true. And then 5 minutes later, they'll be like, oh, by the way, it's not true. But they're not going to see the correction. They're not going to see, by the way, this has been debunked. Just like my friend. I put out the debunked thing, and he's going to be like, I don't believe that. What are you supposed to believe? That it's real? Like, I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
How can we live in two different realities? And he has a worldview based on lies, and I have a worldview based on truth. How can we communicate? How can he have a moral worldview if his worldview is based on lies and deception?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. Which next one I have pulled up here is kind of response to like Trump invading Greenland. This is the U.S. spending on how much the U.S. spends on NATO versus every other European nation, who, remember, is not paying their fair share, period. Look at this. The next highest one is Germany at $98 billion, where we are at $968 billion. Second place is not breaking $100 billion. Not breaking $100 billion in the defense of their nation.
Yeah.
This is why Europe is completely dependent upon the United States for its protection. It has been since World War II. It has been completely dependent on the United States since World War II. Now, granted, it's because they got completely dominated by the Germany and the Nazis in World War II. I mean, remember, their entire tank corps belonged to us. We gave them all their tanks.
Yeah.
We gave them everything.
Yep. All their infrastructure was destroyed by Germany in the air raids.
This is why the boomer generation was so wealthy.
Yes. No other countries had manufacturing back yet. Yep. We were manufacturing everything for the entire world, basically.
Mm-hmm. This is why there was the baby boomer generations. Like, people had plenty of money. Moms could stay at home. Dads had a single family income that could support an entire family. You could make your family as big as you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to think about. What's next? Oh, yeah, this one's good. People, Sodom and Gomorrah. Only God can judge me. God completely wipes out Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, love it. Love it. And this is a warning. When you stray too far away from God, bad things happen.
Yeah.
This is literally the story of the Bible. Any time that somebody strays too far from God, bad things happen to you.
Yes.
So stray yourself from God.
Yeah. Look at the cultural decay that we have. I mean, the little kids And parents encouraging their kids to join OnlyFans because they know they're going to make a boatload of money selling their underwear on there. Selling butt pics on there. Like, again, we are a culture in decay. When there are ads for gambling websites on YouTube, on TV now.
I cannot believe how many gambling things. I mean, you'll literally just be watching a video of like that Charlie Kirk thing we saw. Like that lady did that Charlie Kirk lookalike thing. That was a gambling ad.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah, you should gamble right now. Check this website out, and that's literally what that was. These fake ads. Like literally, you'll be watching a meme video you think's funny, and all of a sudden they go, "Hey, check this out," and they start gambling. That's how they're doing it. That is how manipulative advertisements are now.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Everybody thinks they're going to get rich quick instead of working hard for it.
Yeah, 100%. This is the last video we're going to play before we play us out, but words of wisdom from Charlie Kirk. And this is Charlie Kirk warned us how silence is how evil survives. And this is 100% true. The only thing for evil to conquer is for good men to do nothing.
Yep.
Newsflash, there are more people being sold in slavery in this country right now on the southern border than any time in the last couple hundred years, and the church is silent. There are 320,000 kids that we know of that have gone missing, many of whom are now teenage prostitutes and slaves for the cartel in the interior of the United States, but the church is silent. You see, Kamala Harris did this with a direct action when she decided to get rid of DNA testing on the border. Quickly, here's how it works. You show up on the border as a 13-year-old girl. By the way, you're an average of 3 times in that voyage to get to the border. You are currently being used as a toy by the cartels all the way up till there. The typical mode of operation under Donald Trump was something called DNA testing. Thanks to modern technological breakthrough, you do swabs, saliva swabs of each individual, you put it in, and in 90 seconds, you can have an affirmative or a negative DNA match. So is the person with the minor actually the relative, or is it somebody else? Super simple, easy to use, take 90 seconds. You don't have to send it out to Abbott Laboratories, 90 seconds. One of the first actions that Kamala Harris took with Joe Biden was to get rid of DNA testing. So here's how it works. They show up on the border, trembling 13-year-old girl who obviously, was just a couple times. You could tell her head is down. I've seen it myself. You can go to Human to see it. Is looking down, and a muscular 35-year-old pimp says, "I'm her dad." And there is no DNA testing that occurs. So instead, they just say, sign on the paperwork. Here's your asylum date. It's in 3 years. Of course, it never comes. And the girl is now a slave in the United States. Under Trump, we do a DNA test, be like, you're lying, that's not correct. We're going to find out who her parents actually are, because we're not going to co-sign to her becoming the worst thing that we could possibly tolerate. However, the church is uninterested in this. Exactly. Pastors are too interested in bigger buildings and more budgets, and not in the fact that kids, God's children, are being sold as slaves in our own country. This is not happening in Afghanistan. This is not happening in some far-off distant land. This is on our turf. This is in our own nation. Newsflash.
Charlie Kirk always coming in with a great take. Always. Said words of wisdom. This is why Charlie Kirk's legacy will live on throughout history.
Even if his organization doesn't, his legacy will live on.
But that's pretty much it, man. If you want to start wrapping
Yeah,
it up.
no, again, this turd trying to gaslight Nick Shirley and trying to basically do what Jon Stewart did his entire career and just, lie and deceptively edit videos to make people look stupid. I mean, that's what the left does. They will lie, cheat, and steal in order to get power. Again, you're not taking your opponent seriously if you're laughing at them. It's like the same way. It's like, I sent a message to a friend saying, hey, the thing you posted on your story yesterday was false information. And he just laughs at me. Again, if you're laughing at your opponents, you're not taking them seriously. And that's the legacy of Jon Stewart and the legacy of the mainstream media. Lie, deceptively edit things out of context, never get called out for it. When the right does it, they get called out for it, are punished harshly, said they should take away your journalist credentials. But, again, it doesn't matter when they do it because there is no truth but power. They don't have a moral center. They don't have a God. Yeah. They're not accountable to anybody except for those who pay their bills.
Just like that guy that entered that church. You're getting lectured by people who don't read the Bible, who don't understand
who don't
faith,
go to church.
and don't go to church, but they're going to lecture you about the Bible and how you're not a good Christian when they're not even Christian.
Yep. They'll use the Bible as a hammer to hit you with. even though they don't understand it or understand the full context of what they're talking about.
If you look at anything that they talk about, they literally are misquoting. They're pulling out one quote, and you go, well, if you read the quote just above that or just below that, it's actually saying the opposite.
Yes,
of
you have
what you're arguing.
You can't. Again, this is why I don't like selecting quotes out of the Bible and just reading them as inspiration. It's like you have to understand the context, the full context of the quote, who the audience is for that specific quote, who it's for, the audience at the time, like that. All that matters.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All of that matters.
Exactly.
So again, this is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
And then leave your comments and opinions down below. We'd love to talk to you about it. See you on the next one.
The new book on how to deport illegal immigrants?
Get the hell out of here and don't come back!
Yep, that's the one. Do you have it in paperback?